In the next part of this build, I fit the most gorgeous, epic-looking bull bar I've ever seen on a Land Cruiser 70 series. I took a bit of a risk, and it paid off. I'm Andrew St Pierre White. Join me as I share my passion for building four-wheel drive trucks and travelling to the remotest parts of the world. These videos are made possible by contributions from Patreons. Join the Patreon family now. I'm expecting 2 pieces of bar work to arrive. Just 2. So as I unwrap the first one, I want to talk about bar work. It's very heavy, right? But it's also very useful. So let's talk about how useful it is and how heavy it is. And do we really need it? I will be fitting a bull bar. Because, okay, yes, it's very heavy. But I want to fit a winch, also very heavy. But in Australia, you have to protect yourself against kangaroos. The chances of having a collision with a kangaroo are fairly high on an outback trip, and the chances of having a collision that will disable a vehicle are therefore also very high. And ARB, Australian rhubars, the whole idea of a rhubar was invented in Australia for that very reason, because a nasty collision with a kangaroo, your trip's over. And also it's a big safety thing, not in terms of impact, because it's very rare that an impact with a kangaroo will cause an injury to the occupants of a car. There have been cases where the kangaroo has actually come through the windscreen. It's not common, it's very rare. But what is far more common is the fact that here's a kangaroo, and as a driver you swerve to avoid hitting the kangaroo. That is what injures people. A swerve into traffic, a swerve into a tree will kill you. So the 2 occasions now, three occasions. I've been living in Australia now for 5 years. I've had 3 altercations with a kangaroo. The first 2 happened within 10 minutes of each other. And I remember the second one as it happened. I remember just seeing this and just bracing. I did not swerve. I was going around a gentle curve at the time. I did not swerve. I just thought, you're going to hit it. The last thing you do is swerve, because what you do is you put yourself in harm's way. You're swerving to avoid, and nobody wants to kill an animal. I get that. Nobody wants to kill an animal. But by potentially saving that animal's life, you are putting yourself in grave danger. If you hit a tree at 60 k's an hour, you will probably not survive at 60. So let's think about, we're often doing 100. So the whole point is that if you've got protection in front of your car, there's no need to swerve. There's no need to take drastic, immediate action to save your life. And I might be criticized for this, but people are more important than animals. And I don't hunt. I don't like hunting. I will fish only for the pot. But I won't swerve for a bunny. I'll run it over, because my life and the well-being of my family is more important than a bunny. It just is. And anyway, that's the way I see it. Okay, and so if you have to kill a kangaroo, then kill it. But don't swerve unless you know you can control the car, and you know that you've got a path in front of you, you can get away, you know that you can do this maneuver safely. That is why, for example, when I'm on a gravel, when my wheels touch gravel, I'm in 4-wheel drive. Without exception, instantly 4-wheel drive, because It's when you have to swerve. If you are in four-wheel drive, the chances are your swerve will be successful. You won't get the whiplash, oversteer, understeer, oversteer, understeer, which can be difficult to control, obviously the faster you go. So, you know, the question of a bar is it's not a question. Fit a bar. So I could go a light bar. Some of the aluminium bars will be strong enough to protect the vehicle against something like a kangaroo strike. I have a question for aluminium bar makers. Why do you make your bars so ugly? They are so ugly. They are revolting. They're so bad. There's no design thought going into them at all. Doesn't appear to be. And you look at some of the really beautiful bars made, and the most common one is ARB. Their bars are beautiful. They're very classic. They're nicely made, and they fit well, and they look good. Now, I'm not going ARB this time for my bar, but I am going for a steel bar that will offer me my vehicle protection and allow me to fit a winch. So we'll get on to the choice of winch later, when I fit the winch, or why I've chosen the winch that I have chosen. There's also a specific reason why I've done that. But do I need, for example, rock sliders? They're heavy. They or brush bars round the back, protecting the side of the vehicle against brush. Do I need them? You know, brush bars don't really protect against brush terribly well. Because they're horizontal, and when you're driving, the brush does this, all it really does is scratch the bar as well as the paint. They don't really work. Not that well. In some situations, they will work, yes, but in most situations, they have no effect at all on protecting the vehicle. Very, very heavy, and often attached to, like I had with my previous Troopcarrier, a set of side steps. Now, side steps are absolutely necessary, completely necessary for that vehicle, for 101 different reasons. You need side steps to get in, get out. It's just, they're a no-brainer. The ones fitted to the cruiser aren't actually that bad. They're not very pretty. They do the job quite well. They do not protect the vehicle. But think about this. Protect the vehicle. Do they protect the vehicle? Well, actually they do. They'll bend quite easily. You can't jack on them or anything like that. But in a situation where you had rocks and you needed a clearance between the axles, and there wasn't sufficient, a rock slider will allow the weight of the vehicle to be supported on them, and they will be scratched, but they will support the weight. A simple, lightweight aluminium side step, such as supplied by Toyota, because they are only half length, I want to replace them, but I don't want to go the weight of a full rock slider. Because if I think about how often have I really needed a rock slider to protect the car? So of all the vehicles that I have owned, how many have I actually needed rock sliders? My Range Rover. Didn't have them, could have done with them. Land Rover Defender, didn't need them. Sponsored Prado, never needed them. My first G-Wagon, didn't need them. My Discovery, didn't need them. My second G-Wagon, definitely didn't need them. My 105 petrol, no, didn't need them. My first Land Cruiser pickup and 76 wagon, didn't have them, didn't need them. My diesel 105, had them, and there were a few occasions where I was grateful for them. But that's because the 105 has quite low clearance to begin with. My sponsored Discovery 4 could have done with a set. My first Troopcarrier had them, but never needed them. The Dream Tourer had them, but never needed them. And my guess is with the new vehicle, if I fit them, I'll never need them. I don't see a point of it, because they are something like 35 kilograms each. Well, what about the back bumper? All right, let's talk about this one first. It's reasonably light. It has a single recovery point. I had to buy this from Toyota and add it to the Troopcarrier. It doesn't come standard. It comes standards with the pickups, but not this one. It's a bit ugly, and it's got a good step. This step is very handy, very nice. It has nothing else going for it. The bull bar that I have ordered looks so good. Oh, it's nice. Leaving this on the back is going to make the car look wrong. Okay, but let's talk about weight. The whole idea was not having a spare wheel, two spare wheel, a big heavy thing weighing 70 kilos, plus the weight of the wheels. You're talking 70 plus 40 plus 40. You know, you're well over 100 kilos hanging off the back. So, because I actually do want to put a tow bar on this thing. Not for towing my accommodation. No, I've got another project. So that is a very heavy piece of equipment, and that itself might weigh 20 kilos. So what if I got something that looks good, is not as heavy as a full wheel carrier, but has double recovery points? One is not really enough. I've got two on the front. I want two at the back. I've got an idea, and I don't know if it'll work. But I don't think I can keep this the way it is. This is a ladder that will allow me to get onto the roof of my roof. I'm having the roof conversion done. I'll show you that later when I actually get it done. It's at the moment on a ship on its way to Australia, and I shall have that fairly soon and be able to make that conversion. And I want to be able to climb on top of the roof. I put my one spare wheel up there. In some situations when I carry a second spare, it'll go up top. I will want to put firewood up there and strap it on. But I want to get up there reasonably easily, because I mean, I could, even at my age, I can actually climb quite easily on the back bumper, onto the spare wheel, onto the roof. But here's the thing, I do a lot of traveling on my own. I don't want to slip. You know, I know a friend of mine actually slipped in Tanzania. He was coming out of his rooftop tent, and he actually fell. He was taken to hospital. It was a mess. He was younger than I am. So, you know, when I'm doing that kind of thing, and particularly when I'm on my own, I'm very careful. So I thought, no, get a ladder. Do it properly, spend the money, spend the weight, and get a ladder. This is made by Tracklander. They make lovely roof. I really like their roof racks. I'm not crazy about some of the accessories that they have for the Tracklander racks. Some of them are a bit clunky and a bit, yeah, not great. But I love the racks. I think the racks are first rate. That piece of kit is about 2 kilos, maybe 3. It's really light, all aluminium, powder coated, and that fits like that. Bolts onto part of the bodywork and onto the roof. I like that very much. Sorry to keep you waiting, but in the next video I'll show you this epic bull bar and some other accessories that are giving this vehicle a spectacularly good look. Thank you so much for watching. These videos are made possible by contributions from Patreons. Join our Patreon family now.